Who's good potato spin leak here? Been a while since I done one of these, but hey, whatever. It's one of those random rambling episodes, whatever the fuck I was calling them. And something hit me today. Video games have scared me far more than movies ever could. Now, the thing that brought this along, I took a pause because I'm a moron. It takes me a while to process a thought after I have it. I'm that level of stupid. But I watched roughly 3 or 4 horror movies today, just in a row, back to back, different genres, all on Netflix. And the entire time, the two supernatural movies that I watched were lacking, very lacking. And the one movie that wasn't supernatural, I think it was called shit. I'm just gonna look at it. It was the Green Inferno. That's the one that it was. I didn't expect much of it from it, but it over delivered, and then it left me kind of high and dry. It dragged off near the end, and kind of left me a little bit unfulfilled. But it did way more than I expected it to. But the supernatural films that I watched, they left a lot to be desired because one thing I love is a good scare. There's nothing I want more than a good scare. And I'm not talking about jump scares, okay? Jump scares are cheap. They're fun, they're entertaining, but they're still fucking cheap. What I want is that shit that you have to pay attention to, the shit that you spot out of the corner of your eye that makes you jump out of your fucking skin. And when I say playing video games scares me more than most horror films, I played The Forest recently. I was having fun. I was doing my thing. I was stabbing motherfuckers. I was having fun with it. I was making rocks. And I was putting heads on spikes. I was doing my thing. I was eating people. I met the neighbors. Immediately killed one of them. Ate them in front of their family. And then I put their head on a stick and sat down with my fire and built a house. Because why not? Assert my dominance in the face of cannibals. And the thing that threw me for a loop in that game, it wasn't the monstrosities. It was that I was out cutting wood. I saw a movement out of the corner of my eye. I turned, and I didn't see shit. And I stared long enough that eventually I saw one of the cannibals blended in with the tree, just hanging on one of the branches. Hardest thing to fucking spot. She was a ways away, but that ingrained this fear in me within the game that no matter where I go, they're lurking, they're watching, and they're waiting. The terrifying thing is always just out of sight, just out of reach. If you're doing a supernatural film, have creepy shit hidden everywhere. Doesn't matter if someone pays attention to it or not, you don't need a musical score to go with it. Just hide something. There's too often that there's a dark corner or there's something that is the center of the frame, like an empty fucking room or a mirror or a window, and nothing is there. Nothing at all. There's just one actor sitting there going, like they shit themselves after a few drinks. Like, there is too often I see a camera angle that is from one end of the hallway to the other. Someone is entering a dark room, and in the corner there is a mirror sitting on the ground, and there is nothing freaky going on. Except for the fact that the person is walking into the room. Put something in the mirror. Put something in the fucking mirror. I don't have to notice it. I don't care if it is just barely visible. Because at some point, someone is going to see that shit. They're going to look at it. They're going to pause it. They're going to get up close to the screen. And they're going to jump the fuck back. Because they realize that some freaky shit is staring directly at them. And they hadn't realized it the entire time. It's like the paperclip in Berserk, okay? I've watched the 90s adaptation of Berserk. I know exactly where it is on the wall, too. It is right here. The 90s version of the anime for Berserk, I've seen that enough times that I can spot every appearance of a paperclip because of the way that they used to do stuff back then. Make it like the paperclip. I want to watch a movie for the third time and see some freaky ass shit that is now ingrained in my nightmares and tugs at my psyche because it's been there the entire time and I haven't realized it. The psychological aspect of horror is the most important one. It's not shock value, it's not jump scares, it's not gore. It's the fact that you don't realize the actual danger until it's there. Jaws was creepy because you never actually saw the shark until you needed to. You only saw signs of it. And if you treat everything like the shark or like a paperclip, it's gonna be a little bit more creepy. Now, granted, things have changed. There's gonna have to be the main face. I'm not saying change cinema. I'm saying add a little bit more depth to it. because I'm seeing a lot of wasted space. If you're a director, you're basically a cook, okay? And what's a cook do when something's under seasoned? They add a little bit of fucking salt. Where's your salt? Because all I'm seeing is just the plain ass dish. I'm not wanting to cut into it. It's barely even leaking. It's overcooked. It's boring. It's bland. You didn't even plate it properly. Now I'm hungry. The most aggravating thing about it is really just untapped potential. There's all that there. It's really just a matter of like little tiny Easter eggs and tidbits. Not everything has to be on a massive scale. There are subtleties to every art that can give it that much more depth. Something to consider. Play around, experiment, have fun, throw something out there, and if it doesn't go well, then okay, try something else. Try again. It's not that big of a deal. I want something new because the entire setup is somewhat stagnant. It's not that the movies are necessarily bad. No, they're very good. Okay? I enjoy the hell out of them. I did have fun with them. I liked a lot of the message. I liked a lot of the story. I watched one of the movies I'm complaining about is I'm the Pretty Little Thing That Lives in the House. Yeah, no, I loved that movie. But that's another example of wasted space. Because whenever you look at it, in essence, it's a movie where not much happens. There could have been so much more subtlety. There could have been so many more small shocks. It's very blatant and flamboyant, but it's deeper. There's that flavor that it has, and you could have something sneak up under there. You know what I mean? Well, just another bit of random rambling. Like, I'm subscribed, keep on keeping on, and I am wasting way more room on the internet. I'm having fun with this.